My boy Chef.
Dang, what's good, dog?
Another one, dog. We got another one in the books. We're here with my boy Ricky Maynes.
Yes, sir.
Owner of Savage Academy, my boy. I appreciate you for the hospitality, man.
Yes, sir, thank you so much.
And kicking our asses early, man.
For real, man.
My
Dripping sweat.
My legs are like jello right now.
It's a good workout. Yeah.
No, I've been doing it for 5 weeks, so I'm not feeling the jello, but it's like definitely dripping
sweat. That's good though, because you're getting, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're getting tight, man.
Sure, when you first start, it's always like,
for sure,
man. It
makes you want to, keep coming, though. That's dope.
It actually made me not want to go. I was like, because I'm sore, I don't have to go, right?
Yeah.
I was like, they're like, no, you got to keep going. I'm like,
yeah, you got to keep going.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Hell yeah. But you got some technique down. You know what I mean? He's a good instructor.
Yeah,
and just in a few weeks, man, he already got you looking kind of.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, well, I mean, he actually stops by and like he did with you, man, just say what you're doing and kind of give you a vision of what you're not doing right. And then you just keep practicing, like, you know what I mean? You think, oh, just 5 times. I'm like, nah, you're going. Keep going.
I was trying my best. You know what I mean? I feel like because I'm a bigger guy, I'm a bigger person, it's harder to get that coordination down a little bit more. But Paul, the producer, he's gonna fucking make me look like a badass. Gonna make you look like a badass. This guy's already a badass, so exactly. We all gonna be looking like athletes out here and shit.
So real quick, how was your week, man? How's your past 7 days been?
No, this last week was crazy, man. It's always busy, bro. You know what I'm saying? I always have somebody in the chair. It's just finding the time to balance your life out and shit like that with the family, work.
That's super important.
I'm a big believer in at least one day out of the week, I need one day to myself, bro.
Sure.
And even then, like,
bro,
I've been getting tatted those days. So that day that I have to myself, I'm still at the shop, kind of overlooking stuff. Yeah. And then getting tatted at the same time, just kind of taking it easy. But nah, man, come Thursday, bro, it's just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and then Monday, Tuesday podcast. It's work still. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No doubt. Wednesday is my like kind of chill day, but yeah, man, it's the ball's rolling, man. It's
good to be busy.
It really is.
That's a good problem to have. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. What about you, dog? How's your last week looking?
Week's been trying, man. Trials and tribulations. I had to let go of my apprentice, man. It's been a good 5 months, but you know what I mean? Like, we set standards. We talk about our podcast where we set standards. You know what I mean? We can't let up on our standards to to coddle somebody else, and I really realized that I was actually taking care of him more than he was taking care of himself. You know what I mean? So it's the time to cut it off. We'll cross paths again right now, but he needs to learn a little bit of a kind of a life lesson to take care of himself. You know what I mean? He was blaming me for a lot of things. So it's life. You know what I mean? And I'm good. The first day sucked because I didn't really know if I was making the right decision. But when you realize like your standards are high, you have a vision that's like clear cut. It's not like, oh, well, let's sacrifice this and that. No, it's a clear-cut vision that I'm trying to go to. I'd like somebody to work with me that either works as hard as me or inspires me to work harder. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sorry I had to do it, but it's just the way it is. And I'm working, that fire, working harder.
It takes you back to the, like, that day one situation where you're like, fuck, I got nobody else but to rely on but myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You talk about the vision, and like you were saying earlier, pre-show is like you saw all this happening, dog. You know what I mean? So, like, let's dive into that. Like, what made you open, first of all, your own gym? You know what I mean? Like, how'd you go about it, and what made you feel to do that part? Because you're a fighter. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you compete, but you've never really done the business side of it, things and stuff like that.
Exactly. So, like, when I first started training martial arts, I was living in Las Vegas. I've lived like everywhere, bro. I mean, I'm 34 now, but I've been moving around since I was like 19.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a lot.
On your own?
Yeah, on my own, with nothing. Would just take off a couple $100 in my pocket, end up in LA, and just be out there for 6, 7, 8 months, years sometimes.
Yeah. And you were just training the whole time?
Nah. Actually, I was rapping. I used to do music.
Wow.
I was rapping. I dropped my first few mixtapes in LA.
Wow. Is that Savage Diamond? Is that
Savage Diamond. Yeah, that's where the name comes from. It was originally my rap name, my stage name, and then it wasn't until I was 27 and I was living in Vegas and my first daughter was born when I realized, like, you know what, this music shit, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. You could have good lyrics, you could have a good flow, you could have good rhythm. If you don't got the right backing behind you, the right quality,
the whole industry,
it's gonna be hard to make it. It's just and the whole music industry kind of turned me off a little bit just because it's a whole lot of talking, a lot of talk and this, and you get in beef with other rappers, and then it gets a little dangerous, and it's crazy. Right. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
a whole different world. Yeah, for sure.
It's a different world, and I was missing something. There was something missing inside, and you know, my dad was a kickboxer. He brought me up training and stuff, so I knew that there was something missing. And I had done a little bit of training when I was like 16, 17, nothing serious, but my dad was a serious kickboxer, so right. Being a little kid, 4 or 5 years old, we'd be training, you know. He'd have me in the garage doing push-ups, hitting a bag till my knuckles were bloody. I mean, he was hard on me, bro, real hard, but I loved it, you know what I mean? At the time, I didn't, but looking back now and all the things I've been through, it made me strong.
Right.
It made me, It made me a strong man. So it's a balance, you know what I mean? A solid balance, but yeah, I moved around a lot when I was 27. At that time, I was in Vegas, and my first daughter was born, and I needed to change. I was tired of the music and the studios and the beef and the drama.
With the music industry, dog, is that bringing like, you know, problems as far as like drinking problems, anything like that?
Yeah. It's the lifestyle, you know. There's a lot of
lifestyle.
There's a lot of, you know.
A lot of demons out there.
It's hard to do music, you know what I mean? It's hard to do music. You got, you know what I mean? I went to jail when I was 19, bro. Well, a little 18. And then I got out when I was like 19 and a half. And so I learned a lot, you know what I mean, being in there. And when I got out, it was hard to get a job. You know, I was a felon. I was considered a felon. I remember applying at Walmart, applying at McDonald's, and them just kind of turning me down and turning me away, you know. I remember one time they got mad at Mickey D's because I ain't have a pen, you know. And I was going in there humbly and really trying to change my life and, you know, trying to do things the right way. But sometimes life puts you in a corner and you got to make adjustments. You got to you got to adapt, you know what I mean? So, you know, unfortunately I had looked to the streets, you know. And even though I thought I had put that behind me, I went back to the streets and I started making money the fast way. Yep. And, you know, it's not, I'm not proud of those times in my life. You know, I used to glorify it. Like I'd watch Scarface and all these movies and be like, yeah, that's me. That's what I want to do. I want to come up in the game. I'm going to do this and that. And this being El Paso, you know, it's
easy.
There's two sides to the city, you know what I mean? And it was easy, you know, and I started getting into the game and, you know, soon realized, like, I can't keep this up forever. And this isn't the right way to do things, you know. And, you know, went through a couple hard lessons and stuff and situations. And that kind of altered my path, you know. And that's when I really started, as I was doing the music thing, I was surviving by keeping my ear to the streets, staying in the streets, really living what I was rapping about.
There you go.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it's not necessarily a good thing. So, yeah, when I was 27, I was living in Vegas. I had my first daughter, and I said, I want to change things. I want to do things the right way. So, you know, instead of making fast money, I decided to do construction, start doing construction, hard labor, getting paid $90, $80 a day. I mean, killing myself, bro.
In really? The sun, and it's in Vegas, too, bro. That shit's fucking...
Killing myself, bro. And the whole time I started MMA over there, I joined the gym, and I started just to get in shape and stuff, but having the background that I had with my pops, a bunch of the coaches would be like, oh, you got potential, and they would hype me up and stuff, and I'd spar and I'd do well against good guys, you know, solid amateurs and some pros and stuff. And
it sounds like you're at this point, and you're talking about you're inspired by your daughter. Like your daughter being born really inspired you to just
my first daughter being born, it changed the game for me. You know what I mean? I was like,
it was easy to hang up the game. Like
I was just like, I can't get locked up again. Even though I felt like I had the game, you know,
on lock or whatever,
in a chokehold. I thought I was good. It would just it's too risky. You never know. All it takes is one hater.
What was your passion at that moment, though? Was it writing lyrics or
it was music? It was music, but like I said, I always felt something missing, and I was tired of the chatter. The music. It gets noisy. You know what I mean? I was just
can't
tired.
really control it. It's not something you can control. It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I used to love UFC. I watched all the way from UFC 1 with my dad. We watched them all, and one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go join a gym. I was born to be a fighter. And I had an epiphany, bro. And I was just like, I was born to be a fighter. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
And regardless of anything, you know what I mean? I was just like, this is the path that not that I have chosen, that has chosen me. And that's how I felt at the moment. And I still feel to this day. So, you know, regardless of the ups and downs, I'm pushing forward. I'm moving forward.
Yeah, and that's why I've told Ricky to himself that I'm inspired by you, because like I work my ass off every day and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like I'm not fulfilled. And I'm like, what the fuck do I need? And it was this, man, to come wake up in the morning, to fucking sweat it out and to feel good the rest of the day. I swear, I just feel so good, like, about going about my days. You know, I'm a little sore, I got this or that going on, but I feel really good, you know, about myself, about my body, about everything, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm on top of myself, my mental game, you know what I mean? So
that tension's already melted away, dog, first thing in the morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
first thing.
That's one thing, that's the main shit you
absolutely let go. It's a better meditation. It's like a next level meditation.
It's because we're like hitting a bag, we're sweating, it's hard, you want to give up. I'm in your ear yelling, telling you to push yourself, telling you not to give up. Constant positive reinforcement. True. That's my main coaching style.
Absolutely true.
I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna put you down. I'm constantly gonna correct you, but I'm constantly gonna give you positive reinforcement to get you feeling like, I can do it. I can do it.
But I'll also say, like, your community that you have here. Every guy in here is really down to say, you know, good workout, or, you know, like, how do you do your rap? I got you, no problem. You know what I mean? It's a good atmosphere in here.
Good environment, good vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and since like I said, since I came in this building, before I even rented it out, you know, this was during COVID, towards the end of COVID, and a lot of people were like doubting me, bro. They were like, I don't know, you know, a gym right now, gyms are shutting down. It's COVID, you know, it's not that smart of an idea. What if there's another lockdown? You're going to lose out on this month. I mean, there was so much fear out there, and just in general, you know, it's normal. It's not a big deal. But one thing I had learned was, don't let people's fears become your fears.
Your fear,
yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I love that shit, bro, because I felt the same way. You know, me and Chef started during COVID too, and it was a dicey time. When I say dicey, it's like you either jump at the opportunity or you don't. And if you don't, you're like regretting it. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you're like doubting yourself even more. So it gets further away. So just to jump into it, not knowing where the fuck you're gonna go, not knowing where the pandemic's gonna take us, bro. Yeah, it's like, that's what's really making you like the game changer. That's what I say is a game changer. But I mean, obviously, like, you're a positive person. All you do is put out positive energy. It's bound to come back. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. It was a scary time in the world in general. You know what I mean? I remember right when the first lockdown happened, bro. It's crazy how life works. But when the first lockdown happened, right, I was actually training in New York, bro.
Oh, shit.
I was training in New York with some high-level bad motherfuckers, and it was a blast, bro. I loved it. I loved it so much that I said, I belong here. I belong in this fast-paced city. I belong here. I'm going to take over. Whenever I go somewhere, like when I went to LA, I ended up being there 3 years. When I went to Vegas, I ended up being there 2.5 years. When I went to New York, I was there like 3-4 months, but I was going to move my whole life there.
Wow.
I lived in Miami for 2 years too. So I go to places and I see the potential, and I find my gap. You know what I mean? I find the gap, the hole, and I say, I could fill this hole, you know, right here. Boom. I could make this mine. I could turn this into something all on my own.
That's that confidence, right? I mean,
yeah. And a lot of that comes from, like I said, my pops being rough on me. You know what I mean? I have a good support system with my moms. You know, moms is always there. That's the main character for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
My mom's was always there for me, and my dad, he was hard, bro, but it made me so strong. I could go into a place, into a new city with no money, no nothing, and come out on top somehow. I'm gonna come out on top.
Be confident in that ability that it's not gonna be day one, obviously, but eventually you'll get it
through time, because I know what I've overcome.
Yeah, man.
I know what I've overcome. So when you overcome so many things, it's like, what could really hurt you? What could really hurt you?
Such a great attitude. I mean, seriously, like, you know, now, I mean, you've worked out for one day here. I mean, you see the atmosphere, what I walked into, because I don't know if you watched the episode. I was really at a low place, and I was like trying to figure out what's wrong with my life, where's it going and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I just met you randomly, and I was like, let me try this gym, bro. Like, it was like a sign. I saw you at the gas station.
We ran into each other at the gas station.
But he followed me, so I Savage Diamond, and then his tattoos. I was like, that's who he is, Savage. What's up, man? How you doing? that stayed with me, and I was like, dude, I'm at this low, but what can I do for myself? Let me go to the gym. And that Monday changed my life, dude. I'm seriously, like, I don't worry about that shit no more. I'm not, girls or this business decision. It's like, no, I'm gonna make my decision, confident decision, and I'm very, very headstrong now from these mornings. It's crazy, dude.
Exactly, bro. When you focus on yourself, like just on you, just physically, mentally, spiritually,
what you eat, I mean, everything.
It's hard at the time. I mean, sometimes it's hard, bro. It's hard because solitude, it's also lonely.
Right, bet.
But when you're in solitude, it's a gift. It's truly a gift. It's hard at the time because you don't realize it.
It's true.
But
it's fucking true, man.
When you're on your own, you get to learn about yourself. You know what I mean? You really get to dive deep into yourself and realize, like, damn, how am I going to make it out this hole? Or how am I going to get to this next level?
Yeah, it's true. I saw something that said that, like, if you can't hang out with yourself, how do you expect other people to hang out with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to love yourself.
Yeah,
you know
the way I see it, dog, is like, I've been lonely and had solitude when I was in a dark space. Right. So me being lonely and had a solitude right now that I'm on my mission and I'm, seeing forms of success, I'm like, shit, this is great.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, yes.
I'm comfortable with that, dog. I'm comfortable with not going to the bar.
But it's a day-to-day thing. You got to work at it, though.
It's
mentally,
a routine.
Physically.
It's a routine and it's discipline.
You can't just let it up. Oh, I'm good now.
It's more time to execute. You know what I mean? You dive into your thoughts. You figure out what it is exactly that you want to go after. And then you have this time to execute, not just sit on there and ponder on your thoughts. Yeah, that's actually the visualization process.
Right.
But then the execution. You know what I mean? So one of the main things that I picked up last year when I built all this, I mean, bro, this is just crazy to me. I just want to say that from the jump because, like, my whole life was a struggle. I'm 34 now. And when I started this gym, it was just like, a lot of people were asking to train with me because I had trained in New York. I had trained with Cowboy Cerrone at the BMF ranch for a good amount of time. We traveled together to Vegas on trips. We trained a lot in Vegas at the UFC Performance Institute. We did a lot of training. So when I came back, a lot of people wanted privates, and I was overloaded with private sessions. I had to raise up the price. I wanted to help everyone, but I was overloaded. Yeah, so much work. Sure. I didn't even have time to train. The demand was high, yeah. So I opened the gym, and so, like I said, it was a struggle, bro. I never had more than $1,000 in the bank. I was on hundreds of dollars till I was 33, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always surviving. It was always like that. And then when I opened this gym, things started taking off. People started popping in from all over the place. They started getting good. Next thing you know, I got champions in here. Next thing you know, I got the first national Muay Thai champion ever in El Paso 5 months later.
Congratulations,
you know
man.
That's
badass. Dude.
Next thing you know, everyone's looking so sharp. And then I start thinking like, damn, I'm good at this coaching stuff. I'm kind of good at this coaching stuff. And you know why? Because I'm obsessed with the game. Yeah, I'm obsessed with the game. Right now when I leave here, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to train a little again. And then I'm going to be watching YouTube. I'm going to be watching fights. I'm going to be watching tutorials on jiu-jitsu moves and striking and constantly evolving. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm the coach here, so it's hard. It's like, how do I retain new information? Before, I was traveling and getting new information from all around different gyms, high-level fighters, kickboxers, jiu-jitsu champions, all sorts of people. But now I have the gym. Now everyone's looking to me here. So
you're the top dog.
So who trains me?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I've reached this new level where I really have to like be specific with how I learn and like really dive in deep. I just hired a nutritionist and a strength and conditioning coach for the first time in my life. I never had money to do that. Never had money to do that. Man. Now I have this UFC level strength and conditioning coach that trains all these UFC fighters, and it costs a pretty penny, but I know I'm going to see the results because I believe in it. You know what I mean? And even though it's kind of like online coaching, I believe in the work. I believe in the people that have left these amazing reviews. So
like you said, like surround yourself with the right people too.
Exactly. So I've reached the new point where I have to really go in search of that knowledge and just try to reach a new level, So it's just part of the game, man. When I started this business, I went from, working construction like 8-9 hour days, slaving myself for literally $90. $100 was a good day for me. $100 bucks.
Labor, man.
You know what I mean? And now the money, and I say these affirmations too in the morning when I woke up. I just started getting into affirmations.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And I say these affirmations when I wake up. First, I'm grateful. I thank God. I'm grateful for another day. I say money flows to me. Money comes to me. I attract money. I don't stress about money. Money will just naturally come to me. I'm going to keep giving the best of me to everybody, and the money will come to me. And I started doing that, and it works, bro.
True,
There's so many affirmations you can say that will change your life, and it's not like crazy. Like it's the truth.
It's facts, dog. Manifestation, bro. You know what I mean? It's the thought process.
Space. You see it here first. You make the vision here first, and then you make it into physical reality.
A lot of the times, as hustlers, bro, going up in the game and getting money the fast way, we call ourselves a paper chaser. I'm a paper chaser.
Yeah.
But, dog, you can't be chasing money because it's running away from you, dog. You know what I'm saying? You're putting that out into the universe first. So for you to say, money comes to me, now you're in a positive state.
All that stress off your shoulders, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That goes back exactly to my original point. I got off track a little. But my original point was this law of attraction, right? So a lot of people, they talk about the law of attraction. Oh, yeah, the law of attraction, you want it so bad you could get it. And yes, I understand that the law of attraction, it's a real thing. But you cannot simply just attract things to you just by thinking it. You must execute to get there. So there's a different law that I live by that I learned about last year when the business was barely taking off. I had hit a point where it's like,
rocky.
Oh my God! Like, am I about to lose everything, or am I gonna what is gonna happen? And I had seen this video on YouTube, and it was about the law of vibration, and so I was like, oh, okay, what's this? So I usually, if I watch a video or I learn something, I have an open mind. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna dismiss it or welcome it right away. I have to understand it, analyze it, and then see how I feel about it. And this was the law of vibration. And the law of vibration, it's like everything in the universe is vibrating at a certain frequency, right? Everything has a vibe. The microphone, the music, the gym in general has a vibe. I'm sure at the barbershop there's a certain vibe. And when you're cooking, there's a vibe.
I'll bet, yeah.
Everything has a vibe, right? So there's this vibration constantly in the world, right? So when you want something, you cannot simply attract it. You gotta want to attract it, yes, but vibrate towards it. So you have to make the moves and the decisions necessary to move towards it. And the more you move towards it, the stronger the vibe becomes. It actually does begin to move towards you the more you move towards it.
Right.
It's not just gonna come to you, oh, I'm gonna attract it, it's all gonna come. It's actually buzzing over here, I'm buzzing over here, and then we start moving.
That frequency.
Yeah.
It's you're on the same frequency, so it's gonna come together. You know what I mean?
Match frequencies.
And that's something that really changed my life, bro. Is understanding the law of vibration and really vibrating towards it. I got into a relationship recently, last August, with my. She's about to give birth to my kid in probably the next 6 months.
Wow, man. Congratulations, dude.
Congrats,
man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. It'll be my third. It'll be mine and her first. And the point is, when we got together, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I spent so much time looking, oh, damn, who's going to be my shorty? Who's going to be my girl? I need a girl, and we're men, so we got needs. And we go out and we party and we drink, especially when we're single, and we feel the need to have that female companionship. And it's okay. It's normal. We're like animals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Instinctive.
It's an instinct, it's primal. And so yeah, I had been drinking a lot. Even my business was doing good. I was partying. I'm out. I'm looking fresh. I'm in the city, and I'm meeting different girls and stuff. And then it was just it was just me being lonely, you know, just being alone. Like, even though you got the money, you got the successful business, if you don't have someone to share it with, it's like, damn, you get lonely, you know. But it was in those moments, those dark times, when in solitude, where I found myself. And the more I would find myself and the more I would dig deep, I'd realize, like, damn, I don't need anybody at all. I just need me and God. That's it.
Bet. And that's truth. That's not like he's just saying that. That's actually truth, because I felt that, you know, cause when I was going through what I was going through, like, I had the money, I had the time, I have clients that are, you know, a high level, but I just wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to figure out what your happiness is and vibrate toward it. You know what I mean? Figure out what, like, I don't know if were you in the mode where you were looking for a lady, like you or a specific lady? I
had gotten to the point where I had, like, given up on so many shorties, because I was like, they just don't got the qualities that I'm looking for. I'm a certain type of individual. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody.
No, for sure, but you have a certain type that you're looking for yourself.
I'm on my own wave, you know.
Bet.
I'm not a wave follower. I'm a wave starter. I stay in my own lane. I do my thing, and, like, it's hard. You know, the fight world is hard. I'm training. There's times when you go home, you had a bad day in training, bad day in sparring. You're not in the best mood. Bet. You need healthy food. You know what I mean? There's so many things and levels to it that it's not for everyone.
Right.
Most shorties out here that I met, they couldn't handle somebody like me, because it's too much. It's for them. It's too much pressure. Yeah. They can't even fathom the idea of, oh, you're a professional fighter. Oh my God, sometimes you break bones, or you get hurt, or you have injuries, and you'll be out for 2 months. You know, last year in July, I broke my ankle. I was out for 2 months. Damn. And I was still in here on crutches teaching class, crutches, and everybody would still show up. And they're still learned.
That's what's up.
With just me verbally telling them, without even being able to show them. I already had guys that were on a certain level that they could show what I was saying.
Damn, that's what's up.
So the point is, Going back to where was I at?
The shorties,
the shorties, right? So,
but I mean, I'm sure, like, going out, being single, having that success, having the money, and I'm not saying you use it as a pickup line, but you get to know somebody. Hey, what do you do?
Yeah,
I'm a fighter.
It attracted.
They like that shit, but they don't see what they gotta do to help this nigga.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yes, to be a partner.
So it got to the point where, like, you know, a lot of people come out the shadows and stuff, and people I might have tried to talk to someone before, and now they're all up trying to holler.
Push up on
and it's crazy, you know what I mean? Because you attract a lot of the snakes. Once you start succeeding, you attract a lot of the snakes and the
100%,
leeches.
100%.
And a weak man will give into it.
Yeah, you gotta be weary.
Oh, okay, now I got what I wanted before. No. You know what I mean? But
it's gonna bleed you dry.
But they only want to take.
Right.
When you find the right person, that's the person that's going to uplift and give to you. Yeah. And that's when you realize this relationship thing, you got to be smart with it. You know what I mean? You find the right person when you're not looking. You find the right person when you become the right person.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's serious.
That's a gem right there, dog. Because I be saying that shit all the time, too. You know what I mean? Like, to my dudes that are in the barbershop, to my brother, dog, I'm like, man, he's always talking about, like, I want a nurse, dog. I want to teach. I want somebody with a career. I'm like, bro, you don't got that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to make yourself the person they want to see first. You know what I mean? Because it's like being a man, dog, is different from, you know, girls get it easy. We know that shit, dog. You know what I mean? It's easier for them to get their way than it is for us. You know what I mean? So we got to work at it, dog. We got to be the provider. We got to have the security. We got to have the confidence, you know, plus a career. And be able to go grocery shopping and do that other shit too. It's like, come on.
I'll be honest with you, man. I thought once I got to the chef status, you know, it'd be a lot easier. Not just like, not hooking up, but actually meeting women, you know, quality women, taking them out and stuff like that. But it just isn't the case. And it has to do with internal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really happy with who I am and what I'm doing. Yeah, I have money. Yeah, they call me chef now. But am I happy with who I am? You know, I'm not. You know what I mean? Being in the gym, like, okay, that's one thing. But eating right and then waking up on time to be at the gym at the right time.
Like all the pieces of the puzzle that you were trying to...
And then all of a sudden, I'm not worried about chicks no more. I'm not like, that's not on my table, you know what I'm saying? So I'm worried about myself. I got to get to the gym. I got to make sure I got food in the fridge. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, like, I'm not worried about that. And then we'll talk about that vibration that's coming my way, and I'm like, oh,
it's okay to be selfish, dog. It's okay to be selfish.
But but the other information that he said though is just once you start being successful, you got that headstrong, the snakes come. You got to be wary. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be able to navigate. You know, and I learned this since the rap game, because when I was in LA, I'd meet people. You know, I had done a few shows in Vegas, like small time, like local type shows. And they were lit, you know, and people would hit me up, hey, bro, I want to introduce you to this guy from this label, and they were always talking about some shady shit. They would come at me on some we're going to get you paid shit, and they were really on some we're going to fuck you over shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was able to navigate through the snakes. I ended up never signing a deal when there was actually deals on the table, and I never ended up doing it because I felt like I was selling myself short. I felt like I was worth so much more. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know if it was the right decision or the wrong decision, because I met a guy one time that was like, sometimes a small deal is better than no deal. And then that works you up to a bigger deal. And so he was OG and he knew business and he told me that. But, you know, I felt the way I felt about it and I didn't feel right about it, you know, especially with the music industry being so shady and to be honest, pretty dark.
You stuck to your guns.
And I stuck to my guns, and you know, it is what it is, because look at me now, you know.
Yes,
I'm still working, I'm still grinding, I'm thinking of new businesses now. I'm thinking of new things to execute. I'm vibrating towards new frequencies and greater things. But at the end of the day, it's just like you just constantly got to be able to navigate through those snakes, you know, and just see, oh shit, is this person out to get something from me? And there's ways,
or work with.
There's literally ways that you can tell. You know what I mean?
How are some, run down a list of me that you would kind of like say or put them in situation. What kind of situation you putting these dudes in to kind of give you those red flags, dog?
So I mean, if so, I got homies, right? Some of them they'll just hit me up just to drink. You know, they'll just hit me up just to party, or I'll go out with them and then they're starting shit with people. You know, it's like,
because they know you're with you and shit.
It's like, dog, like I fight in a cage, bro. I get paid to fight. Like I could really hurt somebody. Like, I'm not gonna go to prison for you, homie. Like, you might be the homie, but you ain't family, bro. Like, don't. It's actually disrespectful if I go out with you and you start acting a fool, because now you're putting me in a situation.
Absolutely.
Now you're putting me in a situation where like you're making it seem like I need to back you up, or what if the 5-0 comes and then now they're looking at me like I'm the bad guy when actually I'm an entrepreneur. Right? I do business. I got family and shit. I got kids and shit. I ain't going back to prison for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's disrespectful, and you got to be willing to speak up.
And you got to move like that, dog. You got to be able to think yourself in that way, dog. You know what I mean? And a lot of it's just cutting out that negativity, bro. Cutting out those friends. And it sucks because some of these, I'm sure some of them, it's like day ones. You know what I mean? How do you do that, dog?
And so they'll get
let them know without being disrespectful?
So it's just the truth, bro. It's just the truth. You got to tell them the truth. Hey, bro, if we go out, you know what I mean? Control your alcohol, bro. Drink all you want. It's okay. But don't start no shit. Don't start no shit around me thinking I'm going to back you up.
Yeah.
Now, if you're getting jumped and shit, I'll step in and I'll scrap it out. I don't like that whole 5-on-1 shit. Nah. But if it's a 1-on-1 and you started that shit and you scrap and you get whooped on, that's your problem, homie. That's your problem. And if you want, you could come train with me. And that won't happen.
And what sucks though these days in El Paso, man, you don't hear about the scraps, man. You hear about the gats, man.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is I'm out here. You think
nobody wants to scrap with you.
I'm pretty well known out here, you know, and I say that humbly, bro. A lot of people know me and stuff, and you think a motherfucker's gonna scrap me?
Absolutely not, man. That's why I say I feel for you, man.
You know, they're gonna pull out a knife, they're gonna pull out a gun, or they'll get their ass whooped, and they're gonna go and get the gun and come back. So I'm not playing those games. You know what I mean?
1000%.
That's why before I met my shorty, I was out and about. I was out there. You know what I mean?
Different mode.
I was drinking. I was in a beast mode. You know, what I thought was beast mode, but a real beast mode is staying focused. The real beast mode is staying hungry. The real beast mode is manifesting, visualizing, vibrating towards your goals and dreams. The real beast mode is focusing 100% on yourself so that you can become the right person. Because then one day the right shorty might come along, or the right business opportunity, or the right something might come along. And if you're not the right person, it ain't gonna work.
Nope.
But if you are the right person, that might just be your soulmate. That might just be your $1 million opportunity.
Absolutely.
That might just be your next level up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta be the right person.
If you stay ready, dog, you don't gotta get ready. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And staying ready takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of like the routine. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of internal talking to yourself, bro. And that's, you can't have that without the solitude, without being alone. You know what I mean?
Man.
You can't talk to yourself with all this other shit going on around you.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, do you have a partner in this shit? Like, do you do this with somebody else, or is it just strictly by yourself? Or
Bro, I'm proud to say, you know what I mean, I got 3 businesses. It's all me.
Damn, nice,
100%. And
Badass,
it ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. Emails, phone calls, ads,
marketing,
learning how to do marketing. That's a whole mission itself.
Yes, sir.
Marketing.
Yes, sir.
I design my own logos. I got my clothing line. I design all this, the logos. There's so much work that goes into it. You know what I mean? So it's like when you see somebody shining and doing well, don't just think, you know, they got
lucky.
it.
Yeah.
He's lucky.
No.
Nah, dog.
Motherfuckers putting in work.
There was a lot of work put in.
Hell yeah.
A lot of work got put in.
And I think it's a lot of the time it's what other people or average mediocre people would see as downtime, right? That's when we're shining. That's when we're doing our thing. That's when we're fucking capitalizing on that time that other people are like, nah, I'm chilling right now. I could just kick back watching TV.
Yeah.
I haven't fucking watched TV like that or played a game or done nothing like that, bro, in the last 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So if we started this podcast shit, dog, it's just been like,
Go.
you know what I mean? And that's something we always talk about, dog, is a frequency. I found my partner here. We push each other, dog. And he kind of lights that fire under my ass and be like,
it's been vice versa.
Yeah, bro,
always,
you know what I mean? Like, bringing me to a place like this, dog, I'm more like, we just go lift some weights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when the opportunity came up, I'm like, man, I got to put myself in uncomfortable situations to be able to grow. I got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I say that shit a lot. And I saw it at first. I was like, I don't know. What if I look goofy? Because I know Paul was going to be here, you know what I mean? Filming and shit at my first session. Yeah. But I said, fuck it, dog. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just going to learn.
And guess what? Everybody looks goofy when they first start. It's normal.
Yeah.
I look goofy at one point. It's all normal, but the point is
that you're trying.
You put yourself in this uncomfortable situation. You're trying to do something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The most successful people are the ones that they thrive in the uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They thrive in the uncomfortable. You learn more about yourself in the uncomfortable. You learn to adapt.
Yeah.
The more that you can adapt and adjust, guess what that's leading you to? Success.
Right.
The more that you're willing to fail, I can't kick it right. It's your 3rd week. You still can't kick it right. It's okay. Success is right around the corner.
That's the truth.
Success, kicking with the ability to break someone's ribs or knock somebody out, is right around the corner. All you have to do is dive into that uncomfortableness, thrive in it, enjoy it.
It's like what you said earlier when you're like, it feels good when you unlock a new skill.
You unlock a new skill.
Yeah.
You're going to have so many moments in a gym like this. It's not just, we're going to fight. People think they walk into a gym, they're intimidated.
Start sparring and shit.
They think, you got to spar. And actually, it used to be like that with a lot of gyms. I've been to a lot of gyms that was like that. You walk in, it's rock and roll right away.
Wow.
Boom. They see me, I'm all blasted up. I'm in good shape. Okay, come over here. We got some guys for you.
They want to test you.
They throw me in with the Lions. But guess what? Win or lose, you get respect.
Bet.
Win or lose, if you jump in there, you don't say, nah. I did it. I did it in New York. I did it in Vegas. I did it in LA. I did it in Albuquerque. I did it in a lot of amazing gyms. You know what I mean? First day, rock and roll, let's run it. And then you get respect.
Bet.
You don't always whoop ass. Sometimes you get your ass whooped. That's part of the game. That's part of the learning process. You might think you're the baddest motherfucker. There's always a badder motherfucker in the world.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to be humble.
1000%.
Be humble and be good to people. That's the important thing. And then God will put you in the right positions.
Yeah, the blessings will come.
To learn from others.
Yeah.
To improve. To make new connections. You know, that's what I love about the MMA game, bro. Every city I went to, every gym I trained at, as soon as you get that work in, win or lose, you get respect. that's how I was able to survive in so many cities when I started moving around a lot. In New York, boom, first day, boom, 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 sparring. Hey, bro, where you staying at? Oh, I'm staying at this hotel right down the street. I can only afford it like another day or two, bro. Then I got to ship back out. Hey, well, guess what? Why don't you come stay at my house, bro? I got an extra room in the back. Shit, bro, we just met. Shit, we already sparred, bro. We homies.
Yeah.
You get so much respect and love once you scrap someone. It's like, bro, like once you get to the level where you're sparring and stuff, and we get that first session in, and we're like banged up, and we're just like, there's gonna the level of relationship that we have is gonna go from like friends to like dogs like dogs, because we don't punch each other in the face, we kicked each other, we trying to hurt each other, not in a vicious way, but in a competitive way. You know, I'm a man, you're a man, we're like animals, you know. You throw us in there, boom, someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose, but at the end of the session there's gonna be respect. We're gonna dap it up. Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you, oh, you could have done this, you could have done this better, and you could tell me, oh, I felt like we're right here in this position, what should I have done, and we communicate. Next thing you know, boom, you know what I mean, we get closer. That's the thing about the fight world.
I think the dude that's been coming to the 9 a.m. kickboxing, he's a little bit bigger, but he's putting in work. I see him, like, he's done his first sparring and stuff like that. But the thing is that when I talk to him, he's like, I did my first sparring, but I want to work on this, I want to work on that, my left's not that good, and I see him putting in work on the left, and I'm like, dude, that's some shit right there. You know what I mean? Like, he's motivated.
He wants it.
He wants it.
Yeah, bro. Like, I know what you were talking about, because after we were done, he was just sitting there. He's like,
like, he's trying to motivate himself, you know, and he comes from a different background. And the thing is, when you can become successful in one aspect, you know, whatever world your world is in, right? So, like, you're a barber, right? You became successful in that. You're doing well in that. Now you apply all those same principles that you learn in business, in the barber game, and all that to any other business of your choice. If you apply those same principles, you will succeed. Once you have the knowledge and the ability to do it one time, that's how I was able to start with my private sessions. I started doing the private sessions. I got so many. I said, okay, I'm going to apply all the same principles I use. Being good to the people, positive reinforcement, good technique, all these same principles, you know, even on the business end, good prices so that they'll want to keep coming, you know, do it in multiple classes so they have to get committed off the jump. And once that started happening, I was able to apply a lot of those principles to my other businesses, you know what I mean? And now I'm seeing the results. And there's always a learning curve, and there's always ups and downs with everything. But if you can hang tight in those downs, eventually, you know, even though it's going down and up, it's still climbing. That graph is still going up. You know, and that's
talk about business being like a pendulum. You know what I mean? Like, you got good, great, but it's got to be ready for that bad too. So it's gonna swing back, and you're just ready for both.
Bad and good. I seen when you said that, and it hit home, because I was like, man, there was so many times here in the gym, bro, where I was just worried. I was worried, and I was stressed like never before. Because before, back in the day, I had no money at all. I didn't have shit to worry about. I mean, I did like surviving, but my only thing all day was just get better at martial arts. Don't matter if I'm broke. I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't get nothing done. I ain't have no shorty. It was hard, but I said, just get better at martial arts. Everything will come. Just improve.
I was going to say, cause if we could go back, because you talk about when that you finally had the epiphany to go back in the gym because you're like, I'm a fighter. That first day, I mean, he just had his first day. What was that first day like? And what was your motivation? What was your, like, inspiration?
So my first day, I got thrown into the fire. So what that is it just happened to be a sparring day in Las Vegas at Syndicate MMA.
Shit.
There was like probably like 15 pro fighters on the mat.
But you, at this point, you're like, know some skill, right? Because you've been training with your dad. You know kickboxing a little bit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't no like professional.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, even though I had trained with my pops when I was young, it's a whole other level once you step into a gym of that caliber. That's one of the best gyms in the country. And that's where I decided to go start my training.
Jeez, nice.
And the guy was like, oh, okay, well, there's sparring class right now if you want to jump in. And, you know, probably not the best idea on your first day. But, you know, I took it as a challenge. So, you know, I got my gear. I went in there. And, yeah, man, I got dropped like 2 times by a pro fighter. I got up, I kept training, I kept fighting. People saw my heart. You know what I mean? And maybe it wasn't the best idea to spar on your first day, but I got in there. I got thrown into the fire. Yeah. I jumped into the fire, and it was what it was. But at the end of the session, it gave me a hunger inside to improve. I don't want to go into these sessions and get beat up. You know what I mean? It gave me the will and the fire inside to come back stronger. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, what I got to do? Oh, okay, well, I got to start taking all these classes. First of all, I got to sign up. So I signed up. I made the commitment, signed the contract, started paying my membership, started getting in there, and I'd show up early. I was always the kind of person that I want to show up first and leave last. I always want to be the hardest worker in the room because, you know, my pops instilled that into me. You know what I mean? He's like, whatever you do, you got to be the hardest worker in the room. You know, and my mom's too. She's such a hard worker, you know, been at Walmart like 25 years, working hard, bro.
Shout out, moms.
You know, just working hard. And, you know, if it wasn't for her showing me that work ethic and that push, I wouldn't have had that inside of me to want to be the best. Right. I don't do things to just do it. Oh, I'm going to just try it out. Nah, I'm not trying nothing out. If I decide I'm going to do something, I want to be the best. When I got into this, I said, I want to be UFC world champion.
Sheesh. Go for it, man.
Full in.
Keep going.
And there's so many people that's going to say that. So many people that's going to say that in their lifetime, and they won't put the work in. The law of attraction does not work like that. It is the law of vibration.
You got to put in the work.
You have to put the work in. You can't just think it enough for it to happen. You have to think it, visualize it, and push towards it with execution. And that's the hardest part, is the execution. I could sit here and tell you all sorts of great things, but if I don't go back and execute, then what was it all worth? Yeah. It's hypocritical of me to say things if I'm not going to execute.
Right. Yeah.
So I hold myself accountable, and I hold myself to a higher standard. I have to execute. Yeah. So I'll say it, and that forces me to even have more of a need to execute. You know what I mean?
We have this question that we ask all of our guests. It's one of the, and it kind of goes along lines what you're talking about. What is that line, or if you can define it, the line of confidence and cockiness?
Yeah. So, you know,
is there a line? Is there, obviously you're confident in, but I mean, I feel like even if you are confident because you know you can execute something or you can do something a certain way or whatever, to the outside people that
might think that you're coming off cocky.
That sees as cocky, but you're just full confident.
Yeah, so I've dealt with that my whole life, trying to find a balance. It gets screwed up a little bit. It gets a little skewed because you'll be like, sometimes my confidence starts teetering over that edge where I start getting cocky, and in me especially, like, I've always been like flashy since I was young. Like, I like to dress a certain way. I like to have cool shades. I used to have crazy purple hair and crazy blue hair and
just style,
and slits in my eyebrows and all these tattoos. And I've always been flashy, bro. And I'm not trying to be cocky. It's literally who I am.
That's how you represent yourself. That's you.
I like dope stuff. I like having cool shoes. I like that. You know what I mean? It's who I am. So I'm not gonna try to be something.
It's a part of the music game too, bro. As a rapper, you don't want to see no bum ass rapper. You want to see a dude dripped up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like there has been times where that gets skewed, but the more successful I get, the easier it is to just be chill. You know, be humble. You know what I mean? A lot of people they might judge, that he thinks he's badass, he's flashy, but that's coming in from their insecurities.
That's what I'm saying.
They're thinking
that's exactly what
that, you know what I mean? Because of what they have inside of them. It has nothing to do with me. It don't got nothing to do with me. If you see me and that makes you feel a negative way about yourself, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If anything, if I met you, if we spoke, I guarantee you that I could uplift you. You know what I mean? That I could brainwash you into believing in yourself, because that's the kind of energy I bring to the table, because that's the kind of energy I want around me.
Yep.
The truth.
You know what I mean? There was so many times coming up where I was just like, damn, I wish I met someone that could have gave me the kind of energy that I'm giving You guys.
Yeah. 1,000%. You know what I mean? Seriously.
But that's how the game goes. You won't always get those people.
Yeah, you're not always.
You know, I was always looking for that person. You know, I need a grandmaster.
There you go.
I need a grandmaster in martial arts to get me to the next level. How can I find this grandmaster? And you know, and many times I got close. I got close to certain dudes that were on that they were that guy and they were on that level, and somehow it would just fall apart. And then I realized, I was like, that's the thing about looking for things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was looking for it.
Yeah.
And then I suddenly realized, look, you know what?
You put out that vibration.
I'm that guy.
It's from within, bro. You know, just like you say, it's those changes. When you stop giving a fuck, you stop looking.
Yeah.
It's because you were internally.
Yeah.
Now you're internally focused on yourself, where it's just like you said, attracting that vibration to you. You know what I mean? Instead of you going out to look for it, and chase for it.
And I'm starting to learn that too, because I swear, like I said, I was like, I've made a business, I'm successful, like I finally got money in my pockets, like I'm gonna get a house soon. Like, why isn't like the things that I want coming to me? You know what I'm saying? Because I want them so bad. I'm striving for them so bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I need to sit back, take care of Clay, do my thing, and then watch the things come toward me. Yeah.
The more
and patient, bro.
Patience is key.
Absolutely.
The more you're focused on yourself, you know, going back to the beginning, the more we focus on ourselves, the more likely things are. As long as we're still vibrating towards them, they will get closer and closer. You know, like I said, I wanted this grandmaster. I wanted this guy to take me under his wings and teach me the ways, and I did have a lot of them, and I learned from so many of them, UFC fighters, UFC legends, so many people. But my daughters and my family and my role was here. It wasn't out there. You know what I mean? A lot of sacrifice went into all this shit, and a lot of things were lost in the process.
Yeah.
But sacrifices must be made in order to achieve greatness.
Yeah.
And so, like, I got to this point where now I want to be that figure for the guys out here. They don't have to look any further. I'm right here.
No shit. And you seem like a high-profile guy. Like, you a pro fighter. I mean, you got in the ring recently at Chihuahua Stadium. That was fucking badass, man. Seriously. Like,
congratulations on that shift, dog. Because I mean,
you're a fucking warrior, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
to fight
it.
at Chihuahua Stadium, bro. That's like a, you know what I mean, here in El Paso.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be like a hometown hero type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to perform, do something there, it's like the whole city can see.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate everybody that supported me, the sponsors, the sponsorship. I appreciate everybody. You know what I mean? I went out there. I trained super hard. I put my heart out on the line. I was doing great. It was a really tough war. It was a great fight. Congratulations to my opponent, Jeremy. We were training partners at some point. And he came out on top. You know what I mean? He got the dub. I took the L. That's the thing about this game that I love. The thing about this game that I love. It's the hardest part of the game. You could train so hard, and still come out not on top. Still come out the loser of that match. But you're only a loser when you give up. You know what I mean? You're only a loser when you say, "Oh, I'm done." That's when you're a loser. You know what I mean? You can always come back.
Yeah.
My story's only just begun.
Yeah, Coach was here on Monday morning, just so you know. Straight up.
I was actually here on Saturday for sparring, coaching the guys. So I was here the next morning in here.
The next day.
The next day, yeah. So the point is, you know, we take L's in this life. We're all going to take L's, you know, and I'm going to take my L like a man. You know what I mean? And it ain't the first one, and it won't be the last. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I keep standing up.
There you go.
I keep standing up. I keep pushing myself. I keep putting myself in uncomfortable situations.
There you go, man. There you go. That's how you grow, bro. And I just wanted to, the reason I brought that up is I was going to say, like, what brings you to, what keeps you in El Paso? Do you love El Paso now at this point?
You're born and raised?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not saying raised.
Born and raised.
Okay,
no, yeah, born and raised. Born and raised, yeah, you know, I got my bloodline is here, you know.
Like you said, like your people, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying?
I came back from my daughters.
There you go.
'Cause my daughters were they were here with their mom. But there's so many places where I feel I could be a success. You know what I mean? Anywhere.
Sure.
Anywhere in the world.
Sure.
You know, I've had ideas of moving to Thailand and really diving in deeper into the Muay Thai game. I wanted to live in New York because There was opportunities for me to be in movies.
Yeah, you felt good vibes there.
Opportunities to do all sorts of things, even outside of fighting. But of course, especially in the fighting realm, New York is huge.
Right.
I could live in Vegas. You know, I got offered to go live with one of my boys in Vegas, you know, a high profile fighter. And, you know, at the end of the day, I said, you know what? You know where I'm needed the most? At home. Right here in El Paso.
That's what's up.
Where I can raise the level up so that the level does not stay the same, but I can literally raise the level out here. And I might not have all the best training partners in the world like I had in some of these cities where I got guys from Russia and Albania and from all over the world that I was training with. But here, I can raise the level myself, and I can create, I can give them the tools necessary to get them to the next level. And then that will in turn get me better. The better that they get, the better that all of the guys that I train get, the better that I will get. And it might be a slower process for me personally, but it's going to be worth it in the long run because it's more fulfilling, and I'm giving all of me, bro. There's nothing that I retain. I will show you everything that I know, and you could do what you will with it. And I'm still not done. I'm still learning, still advancing. So yeah, that's why I stay here, bro. I just felt like, you know, El Paso needed me more. I could have done a gym anywhere. I already had a good following here. And I just said, you know what, El Paso, this is where I was born and raised. They're the ones that deserve the energy that I have to give. You know,
well, so we appreciate that. I appreciate that shit.
So I stayed here, bro. You know what I mean? I never think that I could go to another city and not make it. I always say, you know what, I could go anywhere.
Yeah.
LA, New York, everywhere I went, I did well for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I built up the confidence as a chef. You know what I mean? And people tell me all the time, you need to take your business to San Antonio or Houston, and you make triple what you make now. And it's about the money always, but in the end, I'd rather be happy in this city that embraced me when I was nothing. You
yeah, it's priceless, bro. Yeah, it's priceless. When you find, when you have that sense of belonging, and that sense of fulfillment, it's priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. You know what I mean? I would rather make 20 grand, 30 grand a year than and be happy than be rich somewhere else. Cause you know, I met a lot of rich people, bro, and they're not all happy. You know what I mean?
Money is not that.
Just like someone poor can take their own life, someone rich can also take their own life. Unfortunately, in this world.
That's facts.
But yeah, you know, those dark thoughts and that darkness, it could invade somebody's mind, you know, and it's hard when you keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy and you keep yourself striving to just progress.
But to succeed too. I always tell people like find something to succeed in, whether it's drawing and finishing a picture and putting it up, you know what I mean? Just succeed in something and those depression, those thoughts go away, you know what I mean? Like anxiety and stuff like that. Succeed in something so you feel good about yourself.
You can battle it.
Yeah, a lot of people mistaken like movement for progression.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you could like be running in place, but you're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing all the wrong things, finding all the wrong habits to do, and not building the discipline, not building the routine, and you're just staying still. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? Now you're just in another dark hole.
Yeah. You know, I always speak on it. So I used to, when I was, you know, I used to say, depression, you know what I mean? That's weak, you know what I mean? I used to say that, bro. I used to say, that's weak. They're weak-minded.
Probably comes from your father.
And my dad was tough. Yeah, he ain't believing none of that stuff. And so he made me like that, you know what I mean? And then one day it hit me. You know what I mean? One day I got hit with depression. And I was down and out like bad. And that shit made me a beast. It made me a beast because I was able to overcome it.
Right.
I was able to. It goes back to speaking about adapting and adjusting. You know what I mean? So much darkness in your mind that fogs everything. Your day becomes foggy. You kind of don't know where to go with things. You feel lost. You feel like you have no sense of purpose.
Yes.
And that's what and when you're in this negative web, you stay in the negative web.
You want to wallow in that shit.
Just like when you do good, you continue to do good. You know what I mean? So it's the opposite of kind of where I feel that we're at right now. We're pursuing our passions. You know, we're doing good. Things are going well. Now when the storms hit, it's just like whatever. You know what I mean? You're welcome. And I just lost last Friday, and I'm shaking it off. It was a rough week. I'm not going to lie. It was a rough week. I took a blow to the ego. But the ego has been the number one downfall of man from the beginning of time. 100%, yeah. So it's okay. It took a blow to the ego. It's okay. I'm going to bounce back. 100. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to adjust. I shook it off. Boom. Yeah. It's done. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to bounce back. It is what it is. There's no way around it. Nah. We take L's in this world, and you got to bounce back stronger. There is no other option but to give up. And I won't be that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just depression is real. When it hit me, I understood it. But there's ways to battle it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
If you want to, like, that's the thing. You have to be actively battling it, not like wallow in that. Oh, let me just be depressed. Exactly. How are you and stuff like that. No.
And to me, like, a lot of people say, like you said, depression. And, you know, it's a big thing in Hispanic community. Where like, nah, you don't feel like that way. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? But
the machismo in our culture is like, oh, don't be a bitch. You know, that's like my pops. You know, he used to be like that at least. And you know, we all have our moments where, boom, you get enlightened. God puts a little seed in your head and says, hey, mijo, relax. You know what I mean? True. Take it easy, because that humbling moment is right around the corner.
That's the truth, exactly.
And God is nothing to play with. You know what I mean? And everyone's got their own points of views on the higher power and God and everything. But at the end of the day, God loves us, and God will discipline us the way a father disciplines his child. You know what I mean? And it hurts when you go through it. It hurts. So you got to be willing to go through that if you're going to be talking out of pocket and saying all sorts of things. It's going to put you in a bad position. So even our words, bro.
Power of the tongue, bro.
Our words are very important.
That goes along with being an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur life, though. I mean, you're in this game. You got to realize you're putting in work 24/7. You got to be willing to.
When you start off and you're by yourself, bro, I'm sure you felt this shit, and you don't got no type of fans. Like, you don't got nobody rooting you on except for, like, me. The only person was just my family. But I mean, they should be doing that. You know what I mean? I wanted barbers to root me on. I wanted other business people to root me on, and it wasn't happening, bro. So I started rooting for myself. I started making videos, encouraging at the same time myself, so I can go back and watch it. Yeah. But now I'm encouraging everybody else who follows me too, and they're like, yo, that's dope, that's dope, that's dope. Yeah. Clay saw that shit, started cutting them up, and like, now we're here. You know what I mean? Now people look up to us, dog. They see our show. I got 2 employees because of the podcast. That's dope. I fuck with your show, dog. I want to work with you. I like what you got going on.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have had that.
That's how I felt when I saw you guys in the first time I saw one of your podcasts. I watched the whole thing, and I was just like, damn, that's what I had envisioned. Like, I had envisioned like positive podcasts going on there and just helping someone that might be in a spot that I was once in. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. And sorry about that. This is when I made the podcast, is my way of paying it forward, because we get blessings daily. Facts. We're putting in so much work that we're getting the blessings, and I'm like, well, how can I pay it forward? I mean, the podcast is obviously a business tool. Yeah. But I was like, my point of view is going to be to motivate somebody else that's on the couch or maybe just in a depression, that I can do it. You know what I mean? This motherfucker was in the same spot as me. I can do it. I'm going to get out there and use my passion to make myself fucking happy and figure out maybe I can make a living out of it. You know
exactly, what I mean? So, bro. And going back to what you were saying right now about nobody believing in you, but you still had your family believing in you. You know what I mean? At the same time, there's people that don't even got that.
True.
There's people that don't even got that, or there's people that do got their family, but instead of believing in you, they shun you away. You're the black sheep.
Yeah.
You've been pushed out. They didn't understand you. Oh, you went to prison.
Yeah.
Oh, this happened.
Yeah.
And they shun you away. That makes you stronger as well. That's the thing about life, the polarity. You know what I mean? The things that hurt you the most are the things that can make you the strongest.
It's true.
And that's the darkness and the light of life. You know what I mean? You can only shine in the darkness. You can only be the light in the darkness. You know what I mean? So the more that you understand like pain and struggle and darkness, the more that you can understand love and peace and happiness.
Yep. I feel that shit, bro. That shit's fucking dope, dog. Honestly, man.
That shit.
That's something like...
I probably got some bomb-ass lyrics, too.
I felt like you took a page out of my book kind of shit. Like something that I couldn't really think and say out loud. You kind of hit it right on the spot, dog, because I remember those dark days, bro. And I don't really have, like, I tell Clay all the time, I don't really have moments like that anymore, bro, where I'm like, damn, you know, because that was a big ass hole where I'm like, nah, anything that goes bad right now or any little thing that might not be going my way, it's just a part of the process, bro. Like, and I love it. I'm like, fuck it, let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, this is small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I was going through was big, dog.
Yeah,
so this is small, like, and
you beat that.
Just
so
pushing forward, bro. Hustling, dog. Grinding, putting your fucking head down and just muscling through that.
It's like you learn how to get comfortable in the storm. You know what I mean?
You have to
learn how to
break, or you break.
Yeah, you just adapted. Suddenly you're walking, it's raining, there's thunder, and you're just smiling.
Yeah.
You're smiling in the rain because you know what happens when the storm is over. Everybody knows what happens.
The sun does come out, bro.
The sun comes out once again. So if you're in the storm, if you're in the darkness, and I just want to put this out there, if you're in the storm, you're in the darkness, you know what I mean? Whoever's out there, you're going to get through it, bro. That's it. You'll get through it.
That's facts. And if you need an outlet or you need something that to actually help you, the first day is free here at Savage Academy.
Facts.
And that's what started me on a better path. So I mean, if you're listening to what he's saying and you want to come down to Texas Street and try one day, see if it'll spark you, and just keep going from there. Keep the momentum.
Come hit me up. Come hit me up. Look, at this gym, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to be like, just telling everyone what to do and going on a power trip. It's not even like that, bro. It's nothing but positive energy in here. Literally, bro, I train police officers. I train military dudes. I train some special forces guys. I have trained FBI dudes. I had classes of military guys come in here. I train all sorts of people in hand-to-hand combat. But not only am I a coach, bro, you could talk to me about anything because I guarantee you I've been there, seen it,
done it.
Been through it all, you know what I mean? I survived prison. I survived fucking police brutality. You know what I mean? I have. There's so much. I mean, it would take 10 podcasts to really really break everything. That's why I get emotional.
To be continued, bro.
That's why I get emotional because I got a lot of passion. You know what I mean? I've seen the depths of things, so that's why I'm also seeing success now. You know what I mean? 33 years in my life it took for me to succeed. So don't be hard on yourself when you're 23 or you're 24
or you're 41
or you're 41
36
or whatever age. You can't be hard on yourself and say, oh, I should have done this. Every day is a new opportunity for you to wake up and get ready to start vibrating towards your dreams and goals. You know what I mean? It just takes that courage. It takes that courage.
Day one or one day?
Yes, sir.
Make it that day one right now.
Facts.
Yes, sir. Now let's jump into some of these questions. Now we ask these questions to a lot of the guests that are entrepreneurs or whatever.
No doubt.
Some talking points. Where do you think your hustle mentality comes from? I know you touched it a little bit, but if you could just pinpoint it, a certain. Is it your dad? Is it your childhood, your upbringing? But what?
Or is it your children?
Or even right now, has it changed? What's the spark?
I mean, since I was a young buck, bro. I mean, I'm talking elementary school. I was in elementary. I was selling fucking candies, bro. I was selling candies. I used to steal candies from fucking Furs. Y'all remember Furs?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like a handful.
Right? I used to go to Furs. It was right down the block. And I'm not proud of it, but I steal candies and I'd go to school and I'd sell them. I'd go to school and I'd sell it. It wasn't until I told my pops, hey, Dad, can I have like $20 so I could buy some candies and stuff because I know I could sell them for more and make a profit at school. Oh, yeah, all right, you want to try that out? Boom, bought me a bag of lollipops, blow pops, whatever. Boom, flipped them. And that's when I got the mentality like that you can get something and put your price on it depending on the situation. We're at school. We're in the middle of class. People want a candy. I got the lollipops in the backpack. I got the chocolates right there.
Bam.
Boom. It's gonna be $1.50, but at the store it's half that price. But right now it's $1.50, and boom, okay, boom, and that's when I started understanding. Oh, you can flip things.
It's a little bit of economy right there, dog. Starting
things.
early and shit. You know what I mean? Supply and demand, baby.
So it started since I was young. I always seen myself as being a successful businessman. I never made no money till I was 33 years old, till last year in my life. And I'm grateful, you know what I mean? I learned a lot of lessons in business and in different things. And now I'm here where things are just going great. You know, I bought my first vehicle, brand new vehicle off the lot.
Fucking nice.
You know, it's nice, bro. Luxury
nice
vehicle.
car,
It's really expensive. And it's my first vehicle, you know.
And you was able to go in there by yourself, do it, no cosigner, no none of that shit.
I went from 0 to 100 last year.
That's what's up, man.
And I wanna say this too. This happened right after the darkest time in my life. Right after the depression, getting COVID for the 4th time, being super sick at my apartment alone. No girl, no family, nothing. In my apartment, not even my daughters. You know what I mean? They were MIA with their mom and shit. You know, because like you guys must know, with success also comes envy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will hate on your success.
People too.
The closest people to you.
Be the closest ones to you, dog.
Sometimes your own family.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times. You feel me?
Let me ask you something. As we've seen that you've grown so much, and you're 34. You said you know 33 was the changing point. What's the hardest part of becoming the person you are today?
So, I'd say the hardest part was the sacrifices that were made. All those years of training and stuff, it took a lot, bro. It took a lot, like just being out of town and being away from my family, and eventually,
and like you said, sometimes you didn't know where you were sleeping. Like,
yeah, exactly. There was times in Venice when I lived in LA where I was sleeping in my car.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
But the training was your mode. Like I got to wake up tomorrow to train.
Well, I was training after. Mm-hmm. I was training after that time. That's when I was doing music.
Okay.
But
right. Okay.
But I mean, that was a lot of sacrifices that were made.
But you had your vision. That's what kept you in that car. Like, I'm gonna sleep, but I have a vision of where I'm going.
Yeah. I mean, just being uncomfortable. You know, I was willing to face that discomfort. Mm-hmm. In order to reach these visions I had in my head that people thought I was crazy. Yeah. People think you're crazy when you got visions that only you can see. Only you can see it. Only I could see this. Only I could see it. And then now look. Exactly. You know what I mean? Boom, this gym gets packed during the day. We're scrapping in here. So much blood, sweat, and tears has been shed on these mats. And we've been open a little over a year, and so much blood, sweat, and tears has been shed, right? All 3. Yeah. And that's part of the game. That's part of the game. Just learning, you know, being willing to go through the hard, being willing to go through the dark. You know what I mean? That's where success comes into play. Right after the hardest time in my life, God gave me the best time of my life.
It's right, immediately. It's like that, dog. You know what I mean? You have to go through the fucking bottom of the pit, bro. Like, I tell Clay all the time, bro. Like, I was gone, bro. One more day, I was gone. Yeah, I'm not even supposed to be here, fam.
He does say that, and he don't fucking.
And I don't fuck around, dog. I'm not supposed to be here. So when I got my shit together, dog, and I really started locking in, even after that, it took me a good 6 months to a year to be like, all right. Now I'm in the position mentally to fucking attack this mission that I got, that I want to do, that I've been dreaming of, and I've nailed it down, like you said, to the fucking paint in the walls. Yep. To the way same everything that I've seen, bro, everything that I've accomplished, dog, I seen it before I even put it into fucking action. Just like you see this shit, just the way the layout and everything. I saw that in my shop, and I'm like, now I look back at it now, and I'm like, I did this shit. I just, like broke down last week out of happiness, just cried, bro. Cried because I did it. Yeah. And now I can look to that next level. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing about this game, bro, is people see you shining. They see that iceberg, you know what I mean? They see that iceberg, but they don't see
underneath
that fucking giant shit, all the pain that came with it under the water. They don't see it, and I always tell people, I was like, I would never wish because sometimes people's like, damn, bro, you're in a badass position. I wish I was where you're at. And I wish this, and I was like, no, be careful what you wish for.
But that's the question though that we have too, is how do you stay humble? Is it thinking back to those times when you were in your car?
Yeah, I remember everything. I remember being locked up.
There you go.
Is that the hardest point that you would say Because to me, that's like rock bottom.
I'll say this. Being in prison was the best thing that ever happened to me. Not the worst.
Explain.
Okay.
Because were you?
I understand it.
Yeah, I'm looking out from the outside in, but like being in a dark, you're like, I got myself here. I'm gonna work myself out of here. So that was your chance to actually like dig out all the bullshit in your life and then come out in.
So prison is hard. You know what I mean? Prison is hard because there's a lot of ego in there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of demons in there. So prison was real hard, you know. There was times where, you know, you can't let no one disrespect you. You can't let things go a certain way. You got to make sure you stand up for yourself and stuff like that. And then at the same time, you're reading the Bible and you're learning about patience, forgiveness. You're getting closer to God. You know, you're understanding life better. And then you got people testing you out in the tank. So where do you find the balance there? Sure. If I beat this dude's ass, I'm a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. Cause I'm over here in the next room preaching the word of God. Mm-hmm. Then I come out here and the dude's eating my hot Cheetos.
War.
And all of a sudden it's like, is it that big of a deal? In prison it is. Mm-hmm. In prison it is. You can't be a bitch.
Right.
But then I'm writing for God now. So where is that balance?
I can't imagine.
Do you know what I mean? So things get very tricky in there and you have to find a balance, and it was hard. But I'm telling you, that was not the hardest time in my life. That was the easiest and the best time in my life. I was on cloud 9 in there because I had found the truth. In prison, I found the truth. And in prison, you realize, oh shit, you don't got a car. You don't got a house. You don't got nobody. You're in there by yourself. So who can you lean on? You mean, who can you lean on? You can lean on God. You know what I'm saying? You can lean on God. You can figure out, learn more about yourself. You pick up that book. You mean? They say it was man written. Okay. Have you read it? No. Okay. So don't judge it. Read it and start to understand what it says in there. It's all about love and forgiveness. That's it. I'll narrow it down to 2 things. Love and forgiveness. You know, pick it up and read it, and then you might understand a little bit of it. But don't start saying things if you ain't ready. You got to give things up. You got to come at things with an open mind.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? So in there, I was on cloud 9, bro. Cloud 9. I was floating. I felt like I was floating. I felt like God was with me every single day. They wake you up at 3 a.m. for breakfast. 3 a.m. Get up. Boom. Everybody's out in the tank. Boom. You put your plate down. You sit down. You can't eat until everybody's sitting down. Boom. Everybody's sitting down. Knock. Boom. Now you could eat. You know what I mean? There was rules. There's rules and there's rules to the game. You know, they try to kill me in there too. That's a whole other subject for a different day.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So the point is, prison taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot on how to survive. It taught me a lot on adaptation and adjusting. Let's always go back to those 2 words, being able to adapt. But in there, it was not the hardest time. It was the easiest time, and it was the time when I had so much purpose. My purpose was to preach. I was a preacher, bro, in prison.
Wow.
I was a preacher.
Wow.
They would take me to different tanks, and I would read the Bible and speak to different groups of dudes. Maximum security, bro. Shit. Dudes that had killed. I'd be talking to murderers, gangsters, gang-affiliated motherfuckers, burglars, dudes that had kidnapped people, taking them to J-Town. Damn. I was amongst the killers. And they had so much respect for me. I was 19.
Damn.
I'm 34 now, but I was 19. And people would show me love, respect, deep respect, because of the things I was speaking, because of the way I was carrying myself.
And also, too, bro, to them, it's like, damn, I wish that could have saved their lives.
Yeah.
If they thought how you thought at that age, when they was 19, 18, or whatever, they probably would have saved them from a lifetime of turmoil, you know what I mean? And
yeah, bro, exactly. I mean, it was hard. I understand for some of the inmates to even listen to me in the first place. it took a lot of ego and pride to step into that room when the guards would come and get me, and they'd put me in this room where I would talk to like 10, 15, 20 people, sometimes 5. Whoever, they would take me to these different pods, these different tanks, and they would bring out guys from specific units. Oh, we have to do this unit, then I have to do another unit. Then bring these guys out. And I'd read from the word, and then I'd say on how I felt about it and how it relates to my life. That's it. That's what preaching was to me. Making the connection between the word and my life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And giving my testimony to the guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was crazy, bro. The amounts of the kinds of people I had in there, and I was 19.
Yeah.
19 with this mentality to overcome, with this mentality of, damn, you know, at least I'm alive. You know, God is here for us. He gives us strength. You know, pray to Him for strength and courage. Like, just empowering the guys in there. That's why I say that was the best time in my life, because I was empowering so much. I was empowering so many people. That's why I'm a natural born leader. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I'm a natural born leader, so I lead.
And that's the truth, man. Because like,
that's dope, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you pushing that shit out, man. And dog, a lot of the times, bro, when we're coming up in a certain environment, dog, we're coming up from a certain place, we can't see ourselves as that, fam. You know what I mean? I never saw it. I didn't see it, dog, until I start noticing, and not even that, people just like following me. And I even have a hard time dealing with it. I tell Clay all the time, like, bro, like, I don't know how to be a role model.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be
the best you, bro.
Yeah. You know what I mean? People are hanging on to it. I'm like, yo, it's like overwhelming a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I could never.
But you created that though from all your successes and your struggles though.
And I just could never see it, bro. So I appreciate you fucking getting emotional like
that. Yeah, so
deep,
it's just the truth, bro. I just speak the truth. I don't try to hide nothing. I'm not trying to flex. And that's what we talked about, the line between confidence and cockiness. You know what I mean? Some people, sometimes I say things, you know, that might make someone uncomfortable and might make them think, you know, a certain way. But when I say I'm a leader, I'm confident in that fact. That is a fact. I inspire people. You know, I'm not trying to say people's business, but I had a police officer come in last time, and he was training with me, bro. And when the session was over, he was bawling his eyes out, bro. And he pulled me aside and he told me what was going on. He said he's seen some real fucked up shit, and that he's a 5-0 out here. So he sees fucked up things out here that go down that don't make the news.
Yep. Yeah.
Things that get swept under the rug.
Right.
You know, so he came to me and he was telling me about it, and I can speak to him about things, even though I can't
relate
fully
directly.
put myself in his shoes. I've been through other shit where I can actually speak on things with him and help to relax his heart, because he was having a hard time, bro.
It was a bad day.
Having a hard time.
Dude,
it was a bad day.
I could tell you you're a fucking leader, because like I did go to the Chihuahuas game and I saw you fight. That was inspiring in itself. And luckily I had the floor seats. As you were coming by, I dapped you up, and I just felt something different happen. When I was like, you know what? I wonder how his attitude is gonna be after a loss like that. But you had such good things to say. You were putting such good things out in the universe. I was like, dude, I don't know where his head is at, but I'm dedicating myself to go 5 days a week. And it was just a small thing, but it's in my mind, I was like, I got so much to do, but at least I could do this to show him that, you know what I mean? Like, that he inspires me. Bro, day 1, 2, 3 was okay. The last 2 days, I don't think I could make it. I made every excuse in the world. I was like, I can't make it. I got this, I got that, I got time, I got my, apartment, this. And I was like, nah, I told Ricky I would go, and for me, I'm gonna go because I can do this, and I'm just the whole time dressing like I can do this. And I'm at the gym and I'm like forgetting about that. I'm ready to go. I'm like ready to fucking hit the bag. You know what I mean?
And
it's no
the
bullshit.
best training sessions are when you don't feel like you can do it, and then you do it, and you leave here and you're like, I fucking did it,
dude,
bro.
And then the 5th day, bro, I fucking was doing the conditioning. Mikey is a badass.
Mikey kills you.
Badass, man. He kicked my ass. I'm on the floor and I was like dead and I had nothing left. And I started having that moment, bro, where it's like happiness, like tears coming. I did it, bro. Yeah. I told myself I could do it, and I did it. But if you asked me on Monday if I could do it, I didn't think I could do it, bro. It was just a lot. It was a lot. But it was more than that, because in my business and in my life, things were happening too. So it was like a big pot of shit. And I could have said, no, I give up.
You could have made.
I could have said
you could have made any excuse.
Yeah, I could have been like, no, I give up. But you know what I mean?
Or just not show up.
But in my mind, I just saw Ricky in that cage, like just like a cobra, ready to fucking go at it. I'm like, nah. That's what it's like being a man. You face every fear and you just go at it and you
just
don't
face
look
it,
back.
bro.
Yeah.
Just face it.
Yeah, face it.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, things have already been written.
Yeah.
You know, only God knows what was meant to happen, what happened, what it is. Only God knows. But all you could do in there is give every ounce of what you got in here, in the gym, in that cage,
in the kitchen,
in life.
That's
why I'm a fighter, bro. Because what happens in that cage correlates exactly to life. Damn. If you can keep standing up, if you can keep fighting, that's what you're gonna do in life.
1,000%.
That's what it is. You know
that's a great way to end this episode, bro. Yeah. My boy, dog, it was fucking a pleasure to have you, bro. Seriously. Just some strong ass insight, bro. I can't
appreciate you. Dog.
I'm really walking away with this shit. I'm truly inspired, bro. That's what I love about this show, dog. It's not just for you or our audience. It's for us, dog. We walk away with inspiration too. So to know and get to meet another entrepreneur that's hungry in the city, bro, that's just like fucking motivation. I'm ready to fucking conquer the next part of the week and shit. But another one, my boy.
Yes, sir. Yo, we did it, dog.
We did it, dog. Y'all stay hungry, grind too hard. Every Friday, 9 a.m.
Stay motivated. Keep
subscribe,
going,
share, listen that shit.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Peace. Yo.